It has been almost a year, but finally I'm here with the Steam Deck. We're gonna have a look at it today in another super cool unboxing. Welcome to Mike Techs It Out. I'm Mike, and I'm finally here with the Steam Deck. It was July 16th when I pre-ordered this. I got it finally on July 8th, which is the day I'm recording this video. So this is just gonna be an unboxing, my first impressions of the hardware. I do also have the Win 3, and I love that device, the GPD Win 3. But the Steam Deck, especially this $400 one, it's a really intriguing device in my opinion, because the storage is kind of the Achilles heel of this thing. I was actually talking to my husband about this last night, and he was like, why would they make a 64 gig version of this? Being that a lot of games on Steam are around that size or more. And I was like, that's a good point, but it's to kind of compete at that lower price. I'm curious to see how well this works with a micro SD card. I will probably eventually upgrade to an SSD down the line, but I'm pretty sure a micro SD card with a 64 gig will probably be fine. So that's how I'm going to run my configuration out of the box. Speaking of boxes, let's get this open. This is actually the shipping box. I just pulled the label off the back of here. You have your Valve symbol at the top here. Other than the fact that it ships from Valve on the label, it's just a brown box with a whole something that has a battery label on it. If anybody was worried about it possibly getting stolen or something like that, the box is pretty plain. Okay, let's open this. Let's see what we got in the box. So this is just the thing saying to plug it in. So it just says attention, plug in. We got this box in the box. I'm pretty sure this is probably the power adapter. And then this is the case. What I'm going to assume is the Steam Deck in it. Let's open this little box first. I do think that it's cool no matter what variant you do get a carrying case with it. Okay, this is finally open. So this is the AC adapter that it comes with. So this is very similar looking to like the Switch power brick with the built-in cable. Let's see how long this cable is. So this is the length of the cable. It's not really super long. This is probably about 3 feet. Either way, it's super useful to have a charger. Even though this is USB-C and you could use other chargers, it's great that they include a charger in the box, especially in this day where cell phones don't even include chargers in the box anymore. Let's get this out of this bag. This says your games are going places. So let's see what we got here. Let's cut this back off. There we go. Alright, let's finally get this open. It's a pretty nice case, by the way. At least the outside of it is. It feels pretty sturdy. Wow. So I know this thing looked big in videos, but yes, it's pretty big. Kind of intimidated by it. I do like how they have this little lift up thing. This has got the really nice soft material. Let me actually grab the case that came with the Win really quick. I like how this is like form factor fitting versus the Win. This is closer to like a generic case. They're both decent. The Steam Deck case is definitely better because this is made to exactly fit the Steam Deck. Like you got little holes in here for the thumbsticks to go. Looks like you got some extra space back here. Probably for the charger, I'm guessing. This is how I would be leaving the house with it, y'all. I'm that disorganized. It's a pretty nice case, especially in comparison to like this. The GPD one isn't bad, but it's pretty generic other than it saying GPD on the back. Okay, now is the moment of truth. I'm nervous about this. I'm wondering how this is going to feel in the hand. Oh, this feels really good. So, first of all, I praise them. These grips are amazing. Like with the Win, I had to buy that grip case, but this just feels already, just from a general holding it standpoint, this feels better. Like it's big, but it's very easy to wield. Let's just hop into the buttons. These thumbsticks are really nice. It was funny, in my GPD Win video last week, I was just saying how I prefer the thumbsticks that dip in. These definitely feel better than the Win. The D-pad's fine. It's a good D-pad. The Win's D-pad is a little bit better. These buttons have a different feel. These feel more like controller buttons. The Win's buttons have like a tighter feel to them. Triggers definitely feel better. I feel like these are going to last a lot longer. Bumpers are fine. They don't go in as much as I like or have like a satisfying of a click. And then these are our mouse pad buttons, and then we got our back triggers here. I probably never use these. I don't use them on the Pro controller, so I probably realistically won't use them. We got our volume at the top. We got a headphone jack. We got a USB-C power. This is the vents. and then this is the intake here, and then at the bottom we just have our micro SD card slot. But yeah, this thing is huge, but it's surprisingly comfortable. So for comparison purposes, I have the Switch OLED. I have to honestly say, the buttons and the triggers do feel better on the Steam Deck than this, especially the thumbsticks. I forgot how small these thumbsticks are, or how little height they have. I think the shoulder buttons, I do like the clickier ones better, so I actually prefer the switches. The face buttons have like a really good amount of travel. Grab my win. I've spent a lot of time with this recently. These triggers are alright. Shoulder buttons are about the same. It's kind of a tie. I think the Switch has the best shoulder buttons out of these three. As far as like a click, these feel kind of mushy at the end. Then thumbsticks, these feel better than the Switch thumbsticks. I wish they were a little bit bigger, but I think the Steam Deck's thumbsticks, because they just feel like full-size controller thumbsticks, feel a little bit better. Buttons have a different feel. I definitely prefer this D-pad. It's more tactile. This feels more like an Xbox One controller type button, whereas these feel more like a really good third-party controller that has like a tight, clicky, tactile feeling button. These are two different feels. Buttons I could go either way, but the D-pad I definitely like better on the Win. Of course, the screen here in comparison to what I'm used to with this just feels huge. I mean, it's obviously the same size as the Switch screen, but just with bigger controls to the side. If I had to rate it as far as how comfortable it is to hold, the Win 3 feels like it's the heaviest. It's so dense and everything is just balanced towards the middle. And the grip case helps, but it's probably like the least comfortable. The Switch doesn't have any grips, but by it being like super light, it's probably in the middle. Whereas this is usable. This feels okay. Steam Deck, this feels really good. Like, it just feels really good to hold. I have to actually use this for an extended period of time, but first impressions, this is just really comfortable. So that's my initial impressions of the hardware. It feels really good, really well built. This does not feel like a $400 device to me, especially considering that this one's like a $1,000 device. So I'll be back next week with my first impressions of the software, how it is with the 64 gig model, because it is kind of a restrictive amount of space, so I'm curious to how this model is going to be. And until then, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get notified when I drop a video. I'd always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.